Game plans, I would imagine, are already established. Anything that we could think about tactically, or does it take a few games to get going?
It's going to take a few games, but these guys, I mean, they've played each other so many times, we said by those stats, so they know how they're going to play. You're going to see a lot of aggressive style. You're going to see the Brits come in. These guys are not going to sit back and look at any kind of defense. They will play defense, but that's not what their game plan is.
Well, as you said, game plans in the offing. In the last 32 times they've played each other, they couldn't be separated. They'll have to be in this one. And it's Gordon Reid on serve.
Good point there from the French. See again straight away the Brits coming in, and you'll see all the use of angles and spins. You'll see more power from PEIFER, but you're going to see the finesse and consistency from HOUDET. The Brits are going to come up to those short balls and do a lot with them. They're going to be very, very aggressive. That one just jamming PEIFER. As you can see the players really maneuvering, and you'll see lots of switches. These are the two sets of teams that really get to play with each other a lot. So they're very used to, they play a lot together. So they know each other, they know where they're going, they know where they're hitting, and they know where they're moving. Incredible angle again. Alfie HEWETT just waiting for the right time. Got that one just floated a little bit. He was able to wait, hit it on the way down and was just able to create an incredible angle. That's the rotation we've talked about so much, is that rotation of the chair afterwards that gives it a little bit more of a bite.
Taking a useful bite into it as well. A 37-shot rally punctuated by that power shot. Opening chances for GB.
Got to it in plenty of time, just totally misjudged that. Thought he was going to go with a slice, but he decided to hit that reverse backhand.
And I think you're beginning to see why it's 16 games all. Hard to separate them as the British pairing of Hewitt and Reid try again to get out of this opening service game.
See Hewitt moving in. So that means he's going to come in after Reid serves. This time he'll stay back. Different mentality on a return of a first serve and a second serve. Yeah, it's just beautiful play. PEIFER just really didn't make a good choice there. They had it. HOUDET was moving forwards, but then PEIFER just with that lob, just not good enough. But if you saw in that rally, I'll stop for a second. In that rally, you've got a lot of dynamic movement, and as soon as the ball that PEIFER hit went low to the feet of Reid in the previous shot, not that one, HOUDET was already moving up because he knows that off that low ball, there's only one shot they can hit, and that's a nice soft short ball back. So you'll see HOUDET just reading the court so well and reading the ball.
Yeah, HOUDET reading the game well, but it's Reid who reads the playbook and puts the first game on the board. And there he is in that, as you said, innovative chair.
Take your seats quickly, please. Thank you.
As plenty of supporters arriving, all accredited, of course. Good to have an atmosphere.
Wow. Again, if you look, we'll talk about the grips as well in a few minutes, but that backhand of that roll of the reverse backhand from PEIFER just pulled it out, and Reid did an amazing job actually getting to it, but just couldn't control it. It's beautiful play. But once again, that's where HOUDET, he'd already got 3 pushes in. As PEIFER rolled it, he knew. So this right there, that's where it go. He'd already got the 3 pushes in.
And how much video analysis are they doing to be able to anticipate that type of play?
The federations are probably doing a ton of video analysis. They know, but that's a basic strategy on tennis where if you go low to someone's feet, they're going to go short. So you're supposed to move in a couple of steps. You say video analysis is a great point because that has been a big part of the game in the last couple of years. Just in tennis in general, they use the video analysis. What they're using that more for is you're up 40 love, where's someone serving? The unbelievable hands, unbelievable. He's got to smile at that because he knew that was lucky, but if we watch here, great swinging volley there, but look, right down at the feet, just put his racket there, just kept moving, and nothing anyone could do there. Yeah. We've seen HOUDET move forwards now 3 different times. One when he's been on the ad side, but this one, he moves in, again, above his head, and he's able just to come down on it because of the angle where he's at. The last 2 were inside out. That one just cross court.
That one will land long for the French pairing. They get themselves onto the board. Little conversations in the biggest of matches. The gold medal match, Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid 1-1 with Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER. Well, telling himself down there, the powerful PEIFER. Deep in conversation. And they are deep into the Paralympic tournament. Plenty of smiles from Reid and Hewett, keeping it light, but trying to bring a bit of power now on the serve will be Alfie Hewett.
Trying to use the court, trying to open it up, but it's too much. You've asked me a couple different times about strategies and about what's going on. We've seen in a couple of matches where people have won a lot of points off a certain shot, and you said that the players recognizing that. HOUDET is so smart. He would be the one. That's where he's really working with his partner, PEIFER. And he's telling him at that point, hey, look, we just won that point there. Like, he's all about the strategy, and he's very much a thinker on the court. And that comes from experience. I mean, he's almost double the age, or he's more than double the age of, you know, HEWETT out here. So that comes from that experience.
Well, it doesn't matter about experience. Look at the power on that one, firing at home.
And that's where you've got the youth. that's the strength of your youth. You've got the strategy of the guy that's been around for a long time with the firepower of the youth. That's what's so fun about this game. I mean, in that game, just that point alone, you saw offense, defense, you saw neutralizing shots, and that's doubles in wheelchair tennis. There's so many different aspects of it that are just in every single point.
Well, the game on the board for the British duo. And it's a strong start here in this gold medal match. Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid on serve against Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER. Neither really getting a look at any sort of breaks. And as we take a break in this one, now, you mentioned there, of course, strategies. You talked about the chairs that allow the players to be mobile, and we've seen perfect examples of that, particularly with Stephane HOUDET. Gets to those shots, has that innovation. I wonder if you could give us a little maybe player watch. Let's have a look at one of them specifically and see the movements that they are making.
Yeah, we'll take that in the next this next game. We'll pick a player and we'll just look at their movement. One of the things that you will notice is a figure-8 movement and the way that the players turn their back on the chair. So in standing tennis, you hit usually, and then you have what we call a recovery step, and they don't have that. That really enables them not only to create some extra pace, but also to be able to take that first step to recovery. So you'll see the chair. We saw it on Hewett a few minutes ago in that one of his last forehands where he twisted, but the ball didn't come back, so he didn't have to do anything, but he would keep going, and then he would turn his back on the court to recover back to then be able to push forwards. It's very hard for the players to push forward, stop, and then push back. You'll see it very, very, very few times, but it does happen. And then with the strategy, you've got 4 players on the court. They're looking, they know where their partner is, they're looking at everything else.
So of the 4, who do you want us to watch?
We are going to watch on this one HOUDET.
Okay, so Stephane HOUDET, the non-server. I know you want to watch the ball and the shots, but let's keep an eye on the man at the bottom of the screen.
So even though he's not serving, he starts back, and then he starts his push, which is enabling him to be ready for the return of the return if he gets it. And didn't get it there.
Take 2 on player watch.
It's already moving, consistently moving, just holding. Again, letting his partner hit that one, hold. Holding. We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah, this seemed like a good idea at the time. When we had 48 shot rallies, we thought, let's focus on the movement, because there's the dominant hand that's holding the racket, there's the non-dominant hand, there's a lot of work going on. But already we can see the meters, or indeed the miles covered by HOUDET.
Again, can't say much yet, so we'll just hang there. It's okay.
What we can say is that Nicolas PEIFER is beginning to get his serve back on after that initial double faults. Reid, as ever, anticipating.
Again, HOUDET just holding back, holding, moving forward. See him moving forwards off that. On the rise, now he's coming forwards. He's going to recover back. He's going to go all the way back. He's going in the middle, and he got wrong-footed on that there. Really hard for him on that one because PEIFER went one way and he just wasn't sure which way he was going. But you did notice in that rally, as soon as PEIFER hit a really heavy high ball and he saw that Reid was going back, that's when he snuck in. And then you saw the recovery out also when he didn't get the volley. Again, he's moving out to the wide one. Again, holding back. Just holding. Move forwards a little bit. Now he's covering that angle. Again, just holding. Not doing too much. Holding. Still holding. So again, as you can see, one of the, now as you're actually watching this and we're trying to focus on someone, you can see who they're playing to, the Brits. Yes. We've said this before, they will pick on somebody who they think is weaker for whatever reason. It's not, I'm not saying they're the weaker player, but they think there's somebody weaker.
And of course it is PEIFER now facing down a break point from the British duo.
Going to give himself time. Again, stay back and recover. He's going to switch. Covering that side that was just hit by PEIFER as he was moving. Moving forwards, he knew that drop shot was coming. He's going to cover the middle. He's going to have to cover the middle and go back because it's a great lob. He's recovering way back. And it was just wide, but good recovery there.
Yeah, fascinating to see the movements of the French duo as they move themselves back into contention here. Facing down a couple of breaks. And a little bit of strategy chat as well.
Again, you still see HOUDET taking a couple big pushes, being ready for the ball. Just holding again. Moved across, he knew that was the right shot that he was gonna hit, taking that on the rise. Moving forwards a little bit, now he's gonna back up and hold. He's gonna move in, take it on the rise and keep going to that side. He's gonna retreat back, so he's in a little bit of trouble there. That's a great get. Again, he's recovering back, now he's gotta go forwards. He's going to recover back because they're in trouble. He's going to move up a little bit. Again, just holding. Going to take it on the rise again. Recover back fairly quickly. Defensive. He's going to go out wide. He's expecting it, but he's going to push in, take it on the rise. He's going to hold because PEIFER's coming in. He goes more on defense. He's going to go and get that if he can. He's going to lob it way up, give himself time. And he's coming back in, but they're still defending, so he's staying back. First, second bounce, we've seen him hit for a while. Again, he's moving in. Just there he goes. Yep, he's going to try and take that on the rise. He does, but he goes back. Still holding a little bit further in there. He's going to have to come forwards. And he gets it. Wow, what a get. I almost lost it there. I was like, what a get, and then I couldn't see what was happening afterwards. That was a great get. And again, that movement from both players was just, you could see how the defense and offense turns, at least in his mind and what he's doing.
Well, now that you're fully au fait with the quality of the movement of the French duo, this one's moving again in terms of the momentum. Second break opportunity for HEWETT and REID. Can they take it? 3-1 could be pretty useful in this gold medal contest. And the pressure, not for the first time, is on PEIFER.
Again, you see him coming forwards. He's going to retreat back. He's going to retreat back more. Now he's going to have to really throw it up. And his stretch on that, that's what the difference with the chair. So on that one, there's a lot of stretch. You could see, if we get the slow motion when we do get it, you'll see a lot of stretch from HOUDET because of the chair.
But stretching into a little bit of a lead. Alfie, HEWETT and Gordon Reid 3-1 here in this gold medal match in the men's doubles. So that was a very valuable exercise, of course, for people that are totally new to it. You can understand now, so the non-dominant hand, the one that's not holding the racket, the figurational patterns back and forward, the movements, the strategy.
Even if you know tennis, that's really good just to look at, because whether you're playing standing up or in a chair, it's that defense, offense when you've got to move forwards. A lot of recreation players don't realize that.
Yep, the movement separating the best from the rest, and we have the best for your entertainment. And thank you for joining us.
HEWETT using that forehand just very, very well. He's got a lot of different tools in his bag to use, where he can go inside out or he can take it down the line.
He would fall.
Very important game for the French players if they want to stay in this first set. Again, a 3-2, 4-1 is very different mentality. Yeah, he deserves that. The arms out. There's really no words for that. That is amazing. What a point. Again, they knew it was going to be short. HOUDET was moving up, but yeah.
Well, he's a big Rangers fan. A football-style celebration there. And the goal obvious for REID to keep this pressure up. Well, that one catching the frame, and the hard work of the French pairing paying off there. Quite interesting. You can hear a lot. We've analysed Stephane on the left. À toi, always to you, because the ball is always going, as you rightly pointed out, to PEIFER.
Really difficult. If you're watching wheelchair tennis, some of the things that you might be seeing is maybe wondering why players are not coming across and taking so many volleys or missing overheads like that. Very, very hard if you think about it. You're supposed to turn on an overhead and not able to do that. It's a very difficult shot to hit. HOUDET thought that was, he moved up a little bit. That's why REID tried to go deeper, because he's gone short so many times, but the ball was above the height of the net then. He just needed to actually think a little bit more aggressively and cut that volley instead of pushing it.
But pushing towards a break point, the Parisian pairing. Oh, good work again at the net there. Nicolas PEIFER taking advantage of that opportunity. A lovely little drop shot at the net. But it was PEIFER racing in. And we are racing towards the halfway point of this opening set. The men's doubles gold medals. It's Alfie HEWETT and Gordon Reid. Let's go with that. 3-2 against Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER in this one. Well, just getting some extra tack and some grip and some glue onto the hands there, PEIFER. Can they get a grip of this opening set? The defending champions, and they've had to defend mightily so far. And this is the reason, this pairing here. REID and HEWETT combining so well so far. And we're all set up. Moving towards the business end of this opening set. The best of 3 sets, of course, 3 tie-break sets. And you wouldn't bet against that being a possibility. Hard to separate them. As we see Stephane HOUDET ready to serve. And it is Alfie HEWETT with the bandana on his head, ready to receive.
Wow. That slice just had a little bit extra on it. Cut it. Didn't go full out on the swing, so it wasn't quite as smooth. If we can get a great shot here, just, yeah, cut it at the end just a little bit, and that's what stopped it.
You mentioned the French finesse. Perfect example there. Well watched and well wide.
that reach from HOUDET off the return was just, he was able to take it and have his body basically parallel to the ground. And that's where the differences in the disabilities come in, where he can stand, he walks, that's what he does every day. So his core strength and the balance is just at a different level.
Well, the touch at the net, not quite at the right level.
40-15.
Not an easy shot to take, as you've explained already. Landing low, but still opportunities to tie it up at 3-all. And the service motion, I want you to analyse that for us in a little moment. Let's have a look at Stephane HOUDET. The arc of the serve, very impressive.
So what the returners right now are looking at his toss. They've played him enough to know where he's going, but depending on where he's tossing depends a lot on where the ball goes. So the toss on the first one went way back to his left. He tried to kick it out wide, and then that toss went further to his right, and it was flatter. Touche. Touche.
Touche indeed.
I'm going to hit an angle, and I'm going to hit one better.
Finds the angle and finds himself with parity here. 3 games all and an engrossing first set. The number 1 and number 2 seeds duking it out here at the Ariake Tennis Park in Tokyo, and this was the angle that he found. And that one will not be coming back. Oh, that's glorious from Gordon Reid. The movement, the anticipation and the touch.
That was beautiful. I mean, HOUDET had a great shot. You can't ask for a better shot. But again, we're seeing the hands at the net of Reid. Again, if you just see, he just put his racket there and didn't do anything. Let's go. This challenge, that was an incredible point. Incredible point.
Yeah, certainly worth a throw of the challenge card, of which they have 3. If successful, they keep them. And this could be crucial halfway through the first set. A pulsating long rally. Is this long?
It's wide.
Constance. 30.
So the challenge gone, but it remains on the other side of the net as Alfie HEWETT pushes towards a service game hold.
40.
And that will help.
Serving better today, being a little bit more aggressive on his serve.
Center service line, ball was put in.
Another challenge.
Yeah.
Got to play your cards right in this game.
Constance. 14.
Couple of errors on a couple of calls.
Then Mr. PEIFER
And
has
3
one
opportunities for HEWETT and REID now to capitalise.
Notice they've changed the serving position, so it's going to be the equivalent of serve and volley. REID pushing up. Not on this one. He will stay back.
Yeah, but aggressive intent from the Brits. How about that, though? What a response right down the middle.
Both of them, you don't see that very often with both players coming forward, so that's when HOUDET knew that that's what he needed to do. There was no one behind HEWETT at that point, so HEWETT had no choice. He had to go for that. Beautiful. Again, pushing forwards, but was still able to, even though the ball was up above his head, still able to get underneath it and then over it to create that angle.
Yep, he who dares wins. Well, there is a big hold. They had to work hard for it, the British pairing. And serving with new balls in the next game. A little avoidance there from Stephane HOUDET and Gordon Reid as they almost come head-to-head on that side of the net. But in the terms of head-to-head, Alfie HEWETT and Gordon Reid with a marginal lead in this one, 4-3 in the first. Yeah, full of conversation on this side of the net. And deep in conversation and a little bit of consternation on this side of the net. Team France still on serve but under a bit of pressure. These lengthy rallies as we go the distance in this one, going for gold. And of course you gave us the play-by-play look at the French side of the net. Obviously we don't need complete play-by-play on this British side of the net, but some of the adaptations you mentioned there about the British duo being aggressive at almost serve and volley there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to kind of play mind games. They're doing it to put pressure on the returner. So off of first serve return, you're not thinking of attacking it. You're thinking of just counter-punching it and just getting the ball into play. So that's why they're looking to do. They're looking to come forwards and make that even more, because if you do that, then you're in trouble because someone's at the net.
Yeah, someone's at the net, but knocking at the door are the British duo, going against the defending champions, and it's Nicolas PEIFER on serve.
even though the French won that, I want to call something out. In that rally, REID does such a good job of the high volleys, not doing too much, just really has a good awareness of where he is on the court, and on those high volleys, putting them back into play.
Yeah, I don't think you want to play power games with PEIFER too often.
I wouldn't want to. That was a who can hit better forehand angles, and on that, the Frenchman came out on top.
Yeah, precision and power, chasing shadows. Not many do that to Alfie HEWETT.
Just got a little jammed on that last ball.
And when you say jammed, can you explain?
So the ball gets too close and they're not able to get the chair out of the way. So when you're hitting, you want to be slightly out in front of your body and off to the side. But when you get jammed, that's when you lose all your pace. Oh, wow, what another point. Again, you're seeing the amount of angles and the amount of depth that the players use is incredible. You actually, to me, the doubles, you just see so much more. Even in standing, the players are not using the angles. They could actually take a lot from this and use the angles more. You just see so many different dynamic shots in wheelchair tennis.
Well, speaking of dynamic shots, too much power on the end of that one. And it's the dynamic duo from Team France. Pulling it back to 4 games all here in this gold medal match.
The confidence, this 4-all, the confidence coming in here. We've got HEWETT and REID have won 21 of the 23 doubles matches they've played this year. That's huge. I mean, that's a confidence builder when you're at 4-all in the final of a gold medal match.
Well, that's the contest with the context, and it is REID on serve. Can they convert that confidence down the stretch here in the first?
15.
And we saw REID moving there. If it hits the chair, what happens?
The French team would win the point. So it can't hit any part of your body and or chair before it hits the court. Because you never know, that wind could come and blow it back in.
But can the winds change here? HOUDET and PEIFER hoping so. They've got a bit of momentum. But REID and HEWETT all tied up.
Whew.
A double bounce on the top of the tape.
It was. That second bounce made it go out.
And Stephane HOUDET is almost away out down the high street in Tokyo. Back in again. He's going to have to come the long way round. Just as well, he's in such good condition. Extra miles on the clock there.
French are playing solid. They are just not, they've cut out unforced errors. They're just consistently putting the ball back into play.
And of course, consistency, the hallmark of champions. They are the defending champions. Can they keep it up down the stretch? I'm glad. Some of the power being taken off the French shots. Trying to create that extra shot for the British pairing. Make them make some mistakes.
And they have in this game.
Well, they could have been 4-1 down. Could they possibly make it to 5-4? They most certainly can. The momentum shifting for the men from France. And they're very good value for it indeed.
That forehand was not going to come back. Precision and power.
Precision and power indeed. As Alfie, HEWETT and Gordon Reid 4-5 down against HOUDET and PEIFER, all to play for in this gold medal match. So great to have you with us for the gold medal contest. Gordon Reid on the right hand of the screen, just giving some advice and ideas to his good friend and teammate, sometimes rival. They fought it out in Rio. The man on the left took silver. But back in Rio, well, the French team took doubles gold. They're trying to do that again. The temperature rising, and so is the volume. Nice atmosphere building.
That was the most we've heard. That's exciting.
And it's befitting of the quality of these four fantastic athletes. But four will become two, as two become number one.
15.
Beautiful. Again, they're just the last couple of games. The Brits are struggling. The French team have cut out their unforced errors. Say that, and then they hit it. They have an unforced error.
It's the commentator's curse.
Can't ever do that, but they're still on. They've got more winners than they do unforced errors, and it's not the same way with the Brits.
Yep, the golden ratio as they move towards the chance to get the first set in this gold medal contest. And what a match it's been so far.
That's one of the first unforced errors we've seen from Reid. He came in and he, instead of just keeping his racket head under the ball, tried to push it. A little bit like an overhead, but below the height of the net.
Yep, tried to push it, but pushing towards the opening set now. A couple of set points. And we're all set up nicely. Stephane HOUDET on serve.
Not over yet.
40.
Well, that one landing long. They've got PEIFER where they wanted him there, trying to get that power shot. A couple of set opportunities are gone.
Yeah, Reid did a great job on that high volley of just putting it back into play and causing PEIFER just to go for too much. Another set point.
Yep, they have the advantage. Can they capitalise? Full of conversations now. Last minute adjustments. Big moments in this one. That one landing long again. Stephane HOUDET anticipating nicely.
That ball was a lot of power at HOUDET, and HOUDET just not able to control that volley that he took as a backhand, which he should. The backhand protects the body most of the time on that. A great shot to hit, but just not enough control. Said the Brits are not done yet. They're not giving up the set. Now a break point to tie us back at 5-5. Again, momentum shift.
Great response, just in time. Well, he's been the man for the power as Nicolas PEIFER. What about that for placement?
That, I mean, again, the easiest shots to hit angles on are from when someone gives you an angle, but his chair was almost in the middle of the court. So to create that angle from there is extra special.
Well, landing long and landing a big blow to the French hopes. Another opportunity to break, and Gordon Reid and Alfie HEWETT encouraging each other. A lot of support for Team France, but I'm sure back home in Helensburgh, Alfie HEWETT left it.
Wow, but he left it because he thought it was going way out. That was an amazing shot that just landed in the corner. It couldn't get any closer to both corners.
Well, they couldn't have been any closer to being broken. You've mentioned momentum before. Can they pull it back in their favour?
Big serve up the tee. He actually looked like he was going to kick it, but he was able to kick it up the tee, just hit the outside of the line.
Yeah, service to a tee and right on time. At the fourth time of asking, can they get a significant set on the board in their quest to defend their Paralympic title?
Reid just, HEWETT taking a little bit off that, and he was there. PEIFER was there. He wants that one back. That is not acceptable on set point.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to have to accept it though, as you say, and write that off, reset, get back into it, because there's still big chances for both. And HOUDET holding nothing back on these first serves.
REID putting somewhat pressure on PEIFER. He hit that very, very high, heavy ball, and then REID pushed in, just making PEIFER just do too much.
Wonderful big break for Britain. At the fourth time of asking, it's the backhand from Alfie HEWETT down the line, across the court, and crushing French hopes in that one. They had set points, but we're all set up at 5-all here in the first set.
HEWETT taking a beautiful backhand. Saw HOUDET was covering the middle, and see HOUDET how much he was able to reach. But that backhand from up high and seeing the open court and seeing how obviously important and big that game was just by the reaction of the players.
Yeah, huge reaction, huge moments. They face down a couple of set points. Can they set themselves up to chip away at the confidence of the reigning champions? Well, the look on the face of HOUDET and PEIFER would tell you otherwise. Composed as the decibels rise here at the Ariake Tennis Park in Tokyo.
Brits are doing a really good job of keeping the French back. They haven't, HOUDET's not, difference between when they were up 5-2, 5-3 in that area. HOUDET was really able to take a lot of balls on the rise and was coming forwards, and now it's the Brits are keeping the French back. That was a jam. That was where he just couldn't get out of the way.
And even despite the, you know, athletic movement to try and spin around there, 360 degrees, the momentum spinning around as well. HOUDET and PEIFER under pressure.
Yeah. Again, the two Brits coming forwards, and once that happens, it's trouble because he just saw them in, rolled it, and there's no one to go from behind.
Yeah, plenty adrenaline on that one. HEWETT looking up to the ceiling as if to say, could have done with a little bit more control on that one. They were in control of this service game. And HOUDET and PEIFER just giving them a little reminder.
Again, there's HOUDET moving in, taking that ball on the rise and getting that angle, and that's what they did in within the first part of the first set.
Yeah, it most certainly is what they did, keeping it flat across the net. A little smile there from both men. Conceded a break a moment ago. Can they break back? Some shot and some response when he needed it. His error created the break point and he has responded in kind. And out it goes. Break point chance again. Can they capitalise here in the Japanese capital?
It's a good point. When Reid's up at the net, it's trouble for the French. He's got to hit such a good shot. Lack of communication from the French, just slightly in that point. good point again. That point, I mean, PEIFER was out of it, and you could hear HOUDET saying, go, 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 screaming at him. And again, that amazing defense and push got them back into there. And HOUDET, same thing. He just got it back, but then that overhead is so difficult.
Yep, the difficult overhead and the difficult times for the British pairing. Another break to contend with.
And what an incredible forehand. HOUDET did amazing to really just, I mean, he put that ball so high with no spin on it. If you talk about a pushing shot, that was a shot. But the only reason he did that was to give himself time. And then PEIFER again with that angle from the middle.
The gold medal match in this one, Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid 5-6 down. And is the French defending champions on serve at the end of this first set. So here we go, critical stages now. The French fans gathering. Can they gather their calm and composure? They had a couple of looks at the opening set. They are now serving again. But Team GB, redoubtable as ever.
I mean, obviously there's no need in saying it, very important game, and the unforced errors do not need to come in. They're going to want to play a very, very tight game. When I say tight, not tight, but tight as in no unforced errors. Again, HOUDET with the reach on that backhand that just really got the ball back into play, that gave the French team even a possibility of winning that. The defense on the French has been paramount in these last two games.
Well, there's a little noise that the chairs make at the back of the court. You've probably heard it a few times. Sounds like some doors closing. Are the doors closing on the Brits in this opening set? 3 points, 3 chances. Tout de suite, right now. Game and first set, indeed, a huge roar from Nicolas PEIFER. The combination of him and Stephane HOUDET, they are halfway to defending their title. They fought for that one. The decibels rising, the atmosphere building. And it's the French ambiance at the moment. In this gold medal match, the opening set goes to Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER of France.
Looking at the stats, very, very close on all fronts at this point. Unforced errors and total winners, actually in the red for both, but the important points were the ones that were really in those long games, those last 2 points, as we see the Brits taking a short bathroom break. That'll give us a break.
And I'll give you a break from listening to me. If you want to have a little break in this gold medal match, of course. The second set is upcoming, and this was how the first set was won and done. Touch of class from REID at the net. Matched only by the French finesse from Stephane HOUDET. And it was the finesse plus the force of PEIFER, matched by the quality and heroics of HEWETT. But in the end, the first set goes to France, and we're all set up. The athletes are taking a comfort break. Maybe you want to do the same. Join us again in a few moments' time for what will be a conclusion to a top-class final. Gold medal at stake. Join us again shortly. And if you are just tuning in, well, it's the lone piper, Nicolas PEIFER. The other top-class trio have taken a comfort break, and here comes Gordon Reid on the way back into it. I know that he's done a lot of strength and conditioning work with Claire MacDonald back at the Scottish Institute of Sport. And he'll need that stamina down the stretch. Well, Nicolas PEIFER and Gordon Reid, the only two on the court at the moment. And if you are just tuning in, well, it's set up nicely. A change of shirt, but won't want to change too much in terms of the tactics. 7-5 in the first for the French pairing. What can Hewitt and Reid do by way of response? The defending champions from France just in a very close nip and tuck contest, finding the momentum when they needed it and crushing the confidence momentarily as well. Well, I'm sure Alison and Stephen, that's the mother and brother of this man here, respectively, cheering him on at home. Big moments for them. And of course the singles champion, and likewise here Nicolas PEIFER. I'm sure that Lucas and Noe, his children at home back in Sarreguemines, will be delighted with the work so far of Dad, as we see Alfie Hewitt on his way in to this one. Comfort breaks over for 3 of the 4, and we are all set up. Best of 3 sets, of course, having the best of it so far. The defending champions from France. Here he comes, in with a twist and in with a shout. Stephane HOUDET. Just some little bit more glue and tack added to the hands, just to give them a better grip, and they have a strong grip so far here in this final. And some of the more impressive things we've seen, not just the movement of HOUDET, but the backhand of PEIFER. A sight to behold, that flick of the wrist.
See a lot of, I've seen it on the changeovers quite a few times on the set breaks with the players changing their grips, and you'll see it more with the wheelchair players. Just the grips get real dirty, obviously pushing the chair. So you won't see too many standing actually change their grips. They'll actually just change their racket because they have like 20 of them. So instead of changing a grip, they're like, I'll just change my racket.
Well, the biggest thing that the Brits would like to change is to get one set on the board and push this to a decider. But as you said, the changing grips as they change ends to go for this second set. Gordon Reid, the Paralympic champion from Rio in the singles. Can he summon up that quality here in the doubles with Alfie Hewitt?
again, finding the middle. It's interesting. If you look at total winners, we're at 13 to 12, and that's not a ton, but that's because there's so much defense going on in the rally. Misjudging that volley. HOUDET trying to do too much. We've talked a lot about on the volley about just blocking it and letting the pace of the ball coming towards you take care of it. But on that one, HOUDET tried to cut it.
Let first.
Bit of miscommunication.
They're looking at each other like, what were you doing?
Fluffing their lines for the first time.
PEIFER was very lucky there that he didn't get the ball right in the face. See the serve and volley coming here from HEWETT.
Have you seen this game before?
Oh dear. Totally looking at the position of the player where before he's way back.
Yeah, the position of the player and the position of the game. First set to France, first game to Britain in the second. You must be happy. Secretly, you're happy with that. You're proud of it.
It is nice when you call it and you're like, okay, they did it. No, it was pretty obvious. I mean, in a lot of the other, in everything else, the person that's not serving is behind. They're pushing in, but HEWETT was already moving forwards even before. But it was perfect because the serve was so good that it just created an easy overhead. And HEWETT, we've seen HEWETT miss 2 easy overheads so far, and he was not missing that one. That was really high volley and had so much backspin on it. HOUDET got to it and tried the angle, but the problem is as well is that if you watch here, HOUDET has to stop. So when he does that, he actually was a little bit further back than I thought. He cut it way too much, but he's not allowed to touch the net.
Let first.
Wow, just what a point. That is the point of the match so far. Drop shots, lobs, angles, whatever you could think of, that was the point of the match. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing else to say there. In that rally, you're just like, oh my God, I can do this. Nope, just amazing. And he deserved that. Come on.
Can they use that as motivation? A huge point. A point of pride for the British pair as well. Tried it.
He tried it. It was great play again. The Brits seeing that the Frenchman in trouble, coming forwards, taking time away, and takes that swing volley.
And also takes a couple of break points as well. Good start to this second set. If you are just joining us, 1 set down for the British pairing, but all set up here in the second.
What a backhand. Again, Reid, just a soft touch. Thought he had it, but the Frenchman had other ideas with that reverse backhand, which we're going to get to see. He gets to it, and the flick right there, just cross-court. Unbelievable backhand.
Well, from the backhand to the angle at the net, Alfie HEWETT capitalises. And not just a break there, the style in which they did it.
I mean, way more aggressive in that last game. And then HEWETT just faking out. That was like, that's like, oh, a short ball's coming. No, I'm just going to rip it instead.
In this gold medal match, France leading 7-5 in the first and taking that first set. But look at this one.
That's the one. Short backswing. Now that's a half volley, which we haven't seen too many of. So a half volley is basically between the volley when you let the ball bounce and taken on the rise. So it's a very short, punchy ball, punchy shot, and it comes right off the ground. So that was one of the first half volleys we've seen.
Well, that's not a half volley.
That was not a half volley in any way whatsoever. And the Brits are coming out really strong in this second set.
No half measures, confidence rising.
Again, the Brits really looking to come forwards and be aggressive, and it's helping them. Now let's see whether the French try and slow it down somewhat. We're not seeing this. We've seen long rallies, not the 47 shots that we've had in the first set, but definitely more pace. .15-kilometer serve out wide, ace.
Standard. tops that with a 132 km/h serve there. As they're in the driving seat in this gold medal match. Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER, of course, one set to the good, but it's been a very good start indeed for HEWETT and REID. Well, what a fantastic arena. Befitting of a final. Yes, there are no fans, no supporters, but you wouldn't know it. The big cheers echoing around for the big talents. Team France, one set up, and we're all set up in the second. Right in the face there, but he's made of tough stuff, is PEIFER. The thing that's more painful to him is the communication. As you can see, the two of them. The intensity rising, and this ball just picked up off the ground, catches him on the shoulder mercifully. But catch a glare there at HOUDET and PEIFER. They need to shake it off, get back to their best tennis.
And they're challenging. So again, we're seeing the Brits push forward with 6 winners already in the beginning of this set. Looking to push forward, and it catches.
Oh,
Well, it's like watching a different match from the first set.
I mean, the Brits have changed their strategy. They are, it's still high and heavy, because you see a lot of the balls, unless it's sliced, they've got a great arc over the net, but they're flattening it out a little bit where the ball's not so high, and they're really looking to be more aggressive, and that gives them 3 break points. Great slice from PEIFER. If you saw it cut on the inside, ball bounces and...
But all not well in the French camp. A few disagreements, the adrenaline high. Tensions rising at the tennis. Composure required. Huge frustration, huge game as well. Stephane HOUDET smashing that ball towards the back of the court, but going towards the business end of this second set. 4-love up now for Alfie HEWETT and Gordon Reid. One set, of course, to the French pairing.
French team need to just relax a little bit and get their frustrations out. They're very frustrated with each other at this point. I don't think PEIFER's doing what HOUDET's telling him to do. So he's just got to, they've got to breathe a little bit. And the Brits have changed their strategy. That last point that they actually, the French team lost, is the kind of points that they need to get back into this match.
But meanwhile, at the British end of the court, good times.
Wow, just Brits are really coming out strong, sticking with their game plan, looking to finish the point earlier and not go into those 40-ball rallies. That's what they do not want. Just if everyone noticed that backhand volley that I don't actually which volley that REID hit had so much side spin on it. Yeah. Players can see that coming with the way they set up and then swing on the inside of the ball, so they are able to read that. Good point, that net not kind to the French. Interesting enough, when the net actually has to do with the tension of the net, actually has to do with those balls going over or not.
Well, that one does go over, and it's a game on the board again for the Brits. 5-love in this second set. One set to the French pairing, and we're all set up to go down the stretch in this one. A possibility of 3 sets. It looks a very strong possibility at the moment. And we're all tied up. Gold medal match between Britain and France. And you were mentioning there about the net, and there's the kind of traditional non-tennis player. Is there a high part of the net?
Yeah, so the net is higher on the edges and it comes in to the middle. And when they play singles, they actually put net sticks in between the alleys, the tram lines. They put sticks in, so it's even higher in singles. But the tension of the net is also important. When it's super tight pulled, it hits, and then it goes, it pulls back. But if it's soft, it dribbles over.
But of course, not just the tension at the net. We saw a little replay there, a bit of tension in the French camp. Now, do they just let this set go and reset?
A lot of times players will. They'll say, what's the point of coming back from, especially
5-love down.
When you're going to 3 sets. If it was a first set, slightly different. So they're not going to just...
Yeah, they're not going to phone it in.
They're not going to, tank it and just not do it. But there may not be a huge amount of fight, but they need to get back on the same page.
They're not on the same page, right?
Oh, no, not at all. And I think the frustration came from a couple of the balls where HOUDET felt PEIFER did not communicate and which balls to take. And you can see they're not even talking here like the way they have been. In the first set, they were together.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned being at one with the chairs. They're certainly at odds with each other. The furrowed brows of the French pair.
Oh my gosh, that is the point and the shot of the tournament. ESPN highlight reel. That was amazing. And yes, that deserved a hug, and it deserves a standing ovation.
Outstanding from HEWETT. How did he find the angle for that? Well, you mentioned the height of the net. High quality from HEWETT.
The French have fallen apart, all right, in the second set. They have totally fallen apart. They're not talking to each other. They're frustrated. HOUDET's just playing. After that last shot from HEWETT, he's allowed a little bit of a dip.
Absolutely. Still set points. And as you say, from that moment of magic to just a little bit more, a couple of mediocre shots there. Can France get one on the board here? But set point opportunities again.
I think the Brits are going to go crazy in a few minutes. Great point. Hopefully somebody out there watching noticed the two-handed backhand that HOUDET threw in there. Two hands because he got jammed.
And signs of a thawing of the ice on the French side of the net.
Yeah.
Well, neither pairing quite able yet to grab this pivotal game. You can see for yourself the score. Too much. It almost looked like in that rally, HOUDET almost gave up for a little bit. He was just like sitting there. He's like, just go ahead. But again, pull it. Now there. They did a little dance together there to... Brothers in arms again.
There's that overhead, ever so difficult overhead to hit. But set up the point nicely. HOUDET trying really hard there to try and get it up and out wide, and Tuss gets a little too far away from him. Frustration again. So we've said many times, sometimes they've just got to let the frustration out just to feel just a bit better.
Absolutely. Fifth set point. And there'll be a little bit of frustration on the British side of the net as well. They want to get this set on the board. French are not going away. They just making them play.
It would have been easy for the French just to say, okay, I've just got to hit some balls, hit them out, just relax. Sometimes when you do go out, you just hit it.
Well, the game that no one wants, the 7th deuce, but the game that the British desperately need. Another set point opportunity. But the bonhomie recovered at the back of the French court.
No one wants it. They do want it.
Of course.
Absolutely, they want it. Yeah, beautiful ball. Again, that backhand, that's such a tough shot. Swinging backhand inverted. Inverted backhand swinging volley. Just amazing from there. The ball's high enough across the net that it does give him time to take a full backswing and a full swing.
It's not even easy to see.
No, it's not.
Well, they can scalelessly believe it.
Yeah, and I think what's happening in this game is that if that game had been 40-love and the blowout, it really would have demoralized the French team.
Yeah, the little battle within the war.
Great shot. Just giving just giving the French in this just a little time to kind of get their heads together again and just breathe, as opposed to if they really had lost that game, that would have been very tough for them to come back. We've seen HOUDET hit lots of winners from up above his head, but again, very, very difficult to keep taking that ball on the rise. Please tell me you counted how many shots?
336.
Great comeback there. And again, just those are the points that the French team needs. Thinking that HEWETT and REID may have been smart in one of those points off the baseline. It looked like there was a ball that was just out, but they didn't take the chance.
But taking the chance on the forehand down the line. 11th deuce.
Left. Person.
So, where were we?
9, 10, 8.
8. 8th time lucky, that old saying.
Eighth time is not the lucky time. Again, that's the sort of point that the French need and want. It is not the sort of point that the Brits want or how they got to 5-0.
Yeah, and this perhaps a little preview of what is likely to be a third set. Not giving anything away. A little error at the net though. Another advantage, another opportunity. They'll be on cloud 9 if they get this opportunity, number 9.
And there it is. It was number 9. They are on cloud number 9. And I had a feeling it was coming, that I was like, okay, they've got it. They played an amazing set. They need to keep that up. They need to keep the aggression up. And the French need to talk to each other.
That would be a start, but that would be an end to the second set. Scores for Alfie HEWETT and Gordon Reid. They lost the first set 5-7, took the second set 6-love. Gold medal match will go into a decider.
Stats, big stats here up on the bottom left. 14 winners to 3. That's the story. And 14 unforced errors, and to PEIFER. Again, that's it right there.
And the story within the story, obviously they had a bit of a lovers' tiff, a falling out, but they seem to have got themselves back under composure as we see some of the top moments of the set, and it was an elongated set. A big roar from the British Lions. And a big shot from the big man, PEIFER, on form. But things started to go slightly wrong for the French team. And it was Reid and HEWETT there to capitalise eventually.
That was the shot.
Shot of the match so far. I think he enjoyed it. And lots to enjoy for the British fans. The hands are raised. And they are on form as we go into the deciding third. And there was just a couple of things there in the French corner, and it's almost like a fight, so in the French corner and the British corner. By the end of that last sixth game, there was much more to you, to you, to you. They were actually talking to each other again.
As opposed to being frustrated with each other. It's always better when you're playing doubles to actually be on the same page as your partner as opposed to frustrated.
Well, French frustrations.
The French as well are really, they're such good friends with each other. So even they've had that little tiff, it's okay. They'll come back in this third set.
Final set.
As will we. The third and final set. Great Britain against France. Well, they couldn't be separated over 32 games, 16 games all in the head-to-head. They can't be separated over the first two sets.
Wow. See where he's arching back. He's so late playing that backhand, but the lateness of that backhand gives him this angle. Wow.
Yeah, perhaps PEIFER bringing up in power what they lacked in communication just momentarily there, playing to his strengths, and fires that one home. They look like they mean business now. That drop shot just too good this time. We haven't seen the Frenchman not get up to a drop shot too many times in this match, but in that one, just too good from the British players. The French needed that. They need a couple of points where they really can get behind themselves, just like that point. Yeah, they've not won a game for the last 7 attempts. Need to remind, as you say, GB, that there's the defending champions at the other side of the net.
grueling points, absolutely grueling. And on those grueling points, the French like them.
13-14.
Great shot from HEWETT. Just those last two balls, just putting a little bit more racket speed on each of them to gain a few more miles per hour.
Yeah, the chair of both coming off the ground there. Well, almost crashing into the scoreboard there, Stephane HOUDET, and the scoreboard reads 1 set all. But for HEWETT and REID, they're to face down break points against them.
Advantage HEWETT.
And that will be a very, very good hold indeed. Gordon Reid, to the delight of the British crowd gathered here at centre court. And they have taken centre stage. And another game goes a-begging for the French pair. First set to Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER, 7-5. 6-love in the second for HEWETT and REID. And the early stages of the third, 1 on the board, and it is for Britain.
That was a good game for obviously both of them, but it was much better for the French. That's the kind of play that they need and that they want. And now if HEWETT and REID come up with better shots, then so be it. They're not going to be upset with that. They'll be upset with the second set. But the tide had turned, obviously, after that second set, but still, tide has turned in the Brits' favor.
Low 15.
Really important for the French to get on the board early in this third set. The French have to find a way, and find a way quickly, to stop the confidence of the British pair. Getting caught, no man's land, just behind the service line. Just getting caught back there, really difficult volley to play. Just out of position.
But in position now, the British pair, a couple of break points.
The French look a little tired.
Yeah,
they've lost a little bit.
Emotionally as well.
Yeah.
As you've rightly educated me how thickly things can turn, shifting back and forward. Sweat-stained brow. Big opportunities for Britain. Well, to have and to hold. They hold a 2-love advantage here in this decisive third set. And REID and HEWETT in no mood to go home too soon. The scores on the board, 7-5 in the first set by way of France, 6-love and a huge swing in the second. And that's 8 games in a row now for the Brits.
Already in this third set, 5 winners from the Brits. So they're still being aggressive. It's just taking them a little longer to get that winner. They're having to work for the point just a tad longer than they did in the second set. There's not much the Brits can do wrong at this point. And they feel as if they're going to the gold for the golden part of their Grand Slam.
But speaking of slam, he slams that one home. Can they slam the door shut on the French ambitions, the defending champions, in a spot of trouble here?
They're just playing with so much confidence.
Well, a massive serve.
Yep, sorry, massive serve on that one. 169. We've seen EGBERINK serve a little bit more than that, but that's the biggest serve we've seen in this set and match. We see that score again, 7-5. The Brits losing the first set, and since then, it's 9. They have not lost a game. 6-0, 3-0.
So if you're just joining us, perfect timing as we see Alfie HEWETT just cool himself off there with the air conditioning pipe because the temperatures are rising here in this Paralympic final. What a match. If you're new to wheelchair tennis, this is the perfect introduction. Every shot in the book, every emotion on screen. The defending champions still in this contest, but they need to find their best tennis, and they need to find it fast, because this pair here, Gordon Reid and Alfie HEWETT, up against the defending champions. The scores on the board obvious, as is the task in front of the French.
It's imperative in this game the French get on the board. So again, we've seen so much aggression from the Brits in this set and a half, the second set and the third set, that they're bound to make some unforced errors. It's just almost humanly impossible to keep up that amount of winners.
And they do get the game on the board. A clench of the fist and a furrow of the brow. Team France back in this one. Still an advantage for HEWETT and Reid as we go down the stretch in this gold medal match.
Do not count the French out. As we saw in the first set, the good comeback from the Brits, even when the French are ahead, and they know what's on the line. They know that medal is on the line, and they're going to do everything in their power to get it back.
Yeah, the hand was up from HOUDET straight away. Was going to challenge that if it wasn't called in their favour, but it does land in their favour. And all of a sudden, Team France turning the screw.
Again, these are the points. And even though the first couple games of this third set, the French did a good job trying to get those long rallies. And now that it's paying off.
Paying off indeed. Can they cash in on these 3 breakpoint opportunities? Well, it lands wide, and it lands another body blow to the Brits. They were in the ascendancy, but coming roaring back. The fabulous Frenchmen, the defending champions, showing their mettle here. But the mettle that they're going for, of course, is gold. 1 set all, and we're all set up. 3 games to 2 in favour of Britain. And one thing, of course, for the viewers at home, great to have an atmosphere as well.
It's the teams, it's the delegation, it's the other players, it's your other teammates. And even though tennis is an individual sport, this is when they really do come together. And you're right, just hearing that. And it was the Brits earlier, because they were all excited. Now the French are, but the Brits need to get excited again.
They absolutely do. They still have a pretty comfortable, well, if you can ever be comfortable at this level of tennis, but they still have a pretty useful position in terms of the scores. Still serving, still a game up, but turning things around are these two.
HOUDET asking his team for something. Let's see what. Energy boosting gel. At least they're talking to each other now. This is getting quite interesting. This is what it should be. This is the reason. This is the gold medal match. They're 16 and 16 head to head. We would expect nothing less. Good push from PEIFER, just not able to quite get there.
Yep, and that is useful for REID and HEWETT.
Can you please take your seat?
Yeah, we mentioned having some fans, and that has its challenges as they take their seats here at centre court.
again, he was able, his recognition of when that drop shot is coming. He's the oldest person out there, but he's so quick because of the recognition. So he sees that slice, he's moving up, he's seeing the drop shot, and then he's got all sorts of time and is able to create just an incredible angle.
Yep, 50 years young, 35 shots later. Still got the class.
Nice play, able to roll around that backhand to create that angle to go inside out down the line. Understands where he is on the court and how much angle and how short he has to hit to create that angle.
Well, anything they can do on the British side of the net, they can match it and more. Brilliant winner down the line there from Stephane HOUDET, producing parity again in this pivotal game, in this deciding set.
Wow. Again, 3 winners in a row. Again, HOUDET tossed that ball so far out to his right that he was already there. He was moving before he even hit it. He had no choice but to slice that. He read it so well.
Reads it well. And it's all well and good for Reid and HEWETT, hammering home that advantage. The critical stages now of this final set.
The all-important 7th game. 4-2 lead for the Brits in this 3rd set. They've got 2 games. Very important point and game for the French duo. Beautiful. Overhead, backhand swinging volley, and then just shows us the touch. In control of the center of the court, up at the net.
15.
Type of points that the Brits want to play. It's a great get. Again, a great read. They're reading the drop shots really nicely. That time, PEIFER was able to get up to it and also be able to run around his backhand to hit a forehand. And they do that little dance again. Very nice deep ball from PEIFER, catching out HEWETT on the baseline, who just got caught inside the baseline, didn't recover. 2 break point opportunities for the French team.
Well, it's one thing to win a Paralympic title, it's an entirely other thing to defend it. And defend they are, digging in. Tripping the light fantastic here in Tokyo. Can they lead the Brits a merry dance down the stretch? 1 set all, 4-3 in favour of HEWETT and REID. And this one is going right to the wire. Well, the DJ keeping the atmosphere going as the crowd welcomes them back onto the court. At the Paralympic Games, it doesn't get any bigger. Team France and Team GB, defending champions at one end of the court. The hopefuls at the other. New balls. Same old challenge. Going for gold.
Wow, amazing forehand, amazing point, setting it up. Again, just finding the center of the court for that winner.
Well, the dancing duo turning up the quality.
And how the tides can turn. I mean, the 3-0, 9 straight games, and now the French team looking to tie this up at 4-all in the third set.
Yep, certainly worth a challenge, specifically at this key stage. How's your luck? Oh, your luck's out, and so is the ball.
40-15.
Wow, that angle again, that confidence. We're going at 4-all.
We most certainly are. 4-all. And it's 1 for all and all for one at this one. Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid with the opening set. Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER with that response. And you could fit a credit card between them now as they go down the stretch.
It's incredible how in sports the momentum shifts are so, you can see it. You can see it in the body language of the players. You can see it in their shots, and you can see it in their faces, just the shift. Again, the highest level possible, coming up with an ace at 4-all in the third set of the gold medal match.
No problem.
I have a feeling we could be in for a long game in this game. This may be the 10 juices.
10 juices. Well, who can deduce what to do next? Huge reactions, huge moments, long rally. Big opportunities.
14-15.
And there it is. It is 5-4 to the Brits. They have one more game to take the gold medal. 7-5, they lost the first set. 6-0, they won the second, and they are one game away from Paralympic gold medal.
Well, there's the key statistic. 3 hours. You want to take a Paralympic title off these two. That's how long it takes. That plus a little longer. Time of the essence. And it's so good at the centre court to have such an atmosphere befitting of these 4 fantastic athletes. And sometimes you give out plaudits and platitudes just to make the situation sound better than it is. It's the opposite. Massive moments. Big time for Britain. Formidable challenge for France. All to play for, all to fight for. And wherever you are, this is wheelchair tennis at its best. Well, had a big look at it. The door was open. Unforced error, understandable. An understandable relief for the French. Good catch from the bulkhead there, tense times. Tense times and a top touch at the net.
That was a great, great volley again. Really cool, very hard volley, but just put his racket there, and it was a great time to stay cool. French are going nowhere. They are fighting back. They have a chance to tie it up for 5-all in the third set.
Arm in arm, they go towards the finish line. It's their title. Can they keep the defence going?
And they do. We're tied at 5-all in this third set. Again, we wouldn't expect anything less, but this is going to the very, very end.
The defence will not rest here on court. HEWETT and REID will have to serve for it, have to push for it, have to fight for it. Well, they had to wait 5 years for the Paralympic Games. It's been worth the wait so far, but will it be worth the wait in gold for which duo?
Touche, touche. Drop shot, and I can do it a little bit better than you.
Touche indeed, tremendous. The presence of mind, the fitness at the end, plus the finesse. A morale booster for HOUDET and PEIFER. Well, as you've mentioned, the overhead volley is never the easiest to take out of the sky. But adrenaline will be sky high for HOUDET and PEIFER. They look to be down and out. 6-love they were down and defeated in that second set. Can they create a break here?
That ball right up the middle again that is causing the Brits so many problems. And that creates a break point, not just a break point, 3 break points for a 6-5 lead. point and sealed the deal for the French team to go up 6-5 in the third and final set.
Well, you probably saw Stephane HOUDET pointing to his head there to say to PEIFER, this is the one. And that's the reason. One set all and all set up. Is it always this good, the wheelchair tennis?
Oh, always. Absolutely. If you've got to watch it. You just got to be there. It's so fun. You see everything. Those shots that we just saw, we see this here where the hands of HEWETT and then this backhand behind him. Again, the control of that volley there is so tough.
So here we go. The French are on their feet and cheering. Will they be at the end for these fantastic pairing? The defending champions. They look to be down and out. But Nicolas PEIFER and Stephane HOUDET, made of strong stuff. Gordon REID and Alfie HEWETT likewise. But it is the French with the break, and they are serving to defend their title. Well, he had the chance at the net, did REID. He read the play. But the pressure as it strikes the net.
Incredible forehand down the line, under pressure by HEWETT, and it's such an important point that even in that, the momentum shifts. 15-all to love 30, massive difference.
15.
Well, an uncharacteristic error here in this third set. There is still a tiebreak available, you know. Well, we need it. Well, speaking of errors, they're mounting up, as are the breakpoint chances for the British duo. What chance a deciding tiebreak?
From the Brits, and they are taking us to the brink of this match. We are heading into a tiebreak, 6-all in the third set.
Well, you probably heard the umpire saying they receive one more challenge. It is the last challenge. And it is befitting that as the Paralympic Games moves towards a successful conclusion overall, the wheelchair tennis are bringing their best stuff in this final. Well, catches the rim, catching the advantage, HOUDET and PEIFER. They couldn't be separated for 32 matches in almost 3.5 hours. It's been almost impossible to separate them. But they will be separated on the podium. Who's going to take it? Minor advantage for France. Major moments in Tokyo.
Are a little bit ahead, but yet not quite, because that forehand again up the middle of the court with spin that just kicks it out.
Yep, not for the first time. REID to the rescue. Well, go, go, go was the call from Stephane HOUDET.
3-1.
And a big push towards the finish line now.
Great point again from the French duo here. The pressure's, it's mounting. It's mounting right here. The French are only 3 points away from defending their title.
4-1.
Well, sometimes a little bit of luck is what you need. And that is what REID and HEWETT have managed to get there, catching the top of the net. Nicolas PEIFER. And it is HOUDET and PEIFER still with a useful lead. It is a cushion, but not a comfortable one. As we move towards the conclusion of this. And from the cacophony of noise before, absolute silence.
Yeah, silence. You can feel the tension in the stadium. Now when they come out, they're going to try and pump themselves up, but you totally felt that of, oh my gosh, it's 4-2 in the third set tiebreaker in the gold medal match.
It is indeed. Somewhere in Sarreguemines in France, they're cheering on their man PEIFER, and he is on serve. And those cheers are getting ever louder. Mentality, concentration.
5-2.
Winning a Paralympic gold medal is one thing. Coming back 5 years later to defend it, an entirely different matter. What have these young men got up their sleeve? REID and HEWETT, can they do it? Well, that will help. Well, they couldn't be separated over 32 matches. But separate them they will. What a huge forehand and a huge moment. Well, he's been so pivotal in the development of wheelchair tennis. And Stephane HOUDET creates 3 gold medal points.
6-3 with their 5-4. Mr. Reid's challenging the one on the left.
Now. Huge tension. This was for the gold medal. The challenge is in the air, so is the ball.
And the formidable French duo claim their second gold together in Tokyo 2020.
Pure emotion.
Look at it, it's amazing. The emotion there from the players, just incredible. PEIFER cannot believe it, and HOUDET is just, that emotion, it's just crazy.
Well, finally here on court, the defence rests. And you can be the judge of what has been a wonderful wheelchair tennis exhibition as REID comes round to the French side of the net. Rivals before, friends now. Lovely respect there from Great Britain's Gordon Reid, but beautiful moments for HOUDET and beautiful moments for PEIFER.
And for them to come back after being down 6-0, 3-0, 6-0 in the second set, 3-0. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed, and they're looking for the French tricolour, of course. They could do with two of them, I think. That would be only fitting. Nicolas PEIFER has earned his place as they troop the colour here. Well, of course, Paris 2024, only 3 years away. What chance that we see a three-peat?
I think there's a pretty good chance from my inside information of the players saying that they want to be there in Paris 2024.
Yeah, they do indeed, but spare a thought, the emotions now for REID and HEWETT, the hand and the towel over the head, the flags flying high for the French, a super silver again for Alfie HEWETT, likewise for Gordon Reid, and well done to the British pair for their efforts. You can see delight on one side of the court, devastation on the other. But them's the breaks, and it was the breaks from this pair here. 6-love down in the second, looked to be down and out. Couldn't find a nice word to say to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Now they can. Now they love each other. All's good. But the Brits, I mean, we're seeing the French here, but the Brits, you have to feel for them too. They played so well. They were able to come back in that second. We forget the French won the first set, and the Brits just stormed to it. But just heartbreaking for the Brits, but the French there, and everybody standing up, even the Brits, and and the people in the crowd are standing up just because it's just an amazing, that is how tennis should be played.
Well, it is indeed how tennis should be played. 5 years in the making. 1,813 days ago was the Rio final. It was worth the wait. 3 sets, deciding tiebreaker. L'équipe de France, félicitations. There's confirmation for you. The defending Paralympic champions, Stephane HOUDET and Nicolas PEIFER in the men's doubles at the double. And it's double joy for the Frenchman. I don't know about you, I don't know about the athletes, but I think I need to lie down in a darkened room after that one. Unbelievable.
It's just, what more could we ask for? It said tied 16-16, finals, gold medal match, just an amazing, incredible show of tennis.
Well, wherever you are, I'm sure even back in Sarreguemines or Paris, they could hear that roar. Nicolas PEIFER and Stephane HOUDET. There's almost a sense of an air of disbelief about it as well.
Oh, this in many places there are.
But despite the disbelief, they had the belief to get across the finish line. Can you imagine the tour of the stadium with the fans? That's what he was saying there. Well, we don't have to imagine the disappointment, the hurt for the British pairing. A silver, though, at the Paralympic Games, to add to a collection of a glorious career for both of them already. To put it in context, still very, very impressive.
100%, and they're still going for their Grand Slam, just not the golden part, so they've got a lot to look forward to. They're still only lost 3 matches the entire year. And
this was one of them, and that was the reaction. Look at PEIFER and look at the laughing HOUDET